Hey everyone,
Hello,
welcome.
hello.
This is Jeff Barker. I wanted to introduce you to him. I've introduced him, I've introduced you several times in many series.
Yeah, I
We
think the last time we were at a retreat in
that's
Sandbanks.
that was in Sandbanks
I
and
think that was over a year ago.
at a mastermind retreat, which is
Yeah,
amazing. It was an amazing experience, and we were also at in California,
we were.
in Temecula. Is that where we met?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's where I met a lot of people. My life changed at that retreat.
yes.
Yeah,
And I love your story. You in Dakota. Together, you have been very active
mm.
in real estate. I mean, you've done many conversions
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the right
yeah.
and
Duplex conversions, a lot of single-family home flips as well. That's kind of where we came from before we started doing multifamily.
and then now you're leveled up. And thanks for mentioning, by the way, this is an episode of the Real Estate Mindset Investor where creating generational wealth requires 5% strategy and 95% mindset. Now, we've been talking a lot about mindset, but today we're going to talk about a little bit about that strategy, about that 5% that I always
Mm.
talk about. Like the strategy means the knowledge that we need to have in
Mhm.
that particular career or business that we're looking for. Everything else is mindset. That 95% is going to make us successful in anything that
Mm.
we want.
Mm.
But we like real estate investing
Yeah.
because it's what most successful people, if not all of the most successful people do in the world, is they have real estate, and it's for many reasons, and especially the fact that you can buy your time back and you gain financial freedom. So today we're at a multifamily conference,
Yes, we are.
and so here's the strategy that we're going to talk about, because we were learning about the reasons why you are leveling yourself up to multifamily from having much experience in doing single family conversions and duplexes and things of that nature, but you're
Yep.
leveling up to multifamily,
Yep.
and I'm doing that the same for the same reason, right?
These are nice, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank
You
you.
didn't have these last time we did the interviews.
No, I know. So it improves on the sound. Yeah. So there's about 5 or 6 reasons why multifamily is better, or we decided on taking on that strategy, right?
Mhm.
And I took some notes down. One of them is lifestyle,
Yep.
right? Our mentor tell us, you do the job once, so it might be a little bit, it takes a little bit of work at the
Big job.
beginning,
Yep.
but you do a job once,
Yep.
and then it pays for life.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. The second one is the economies of scale,
Mhm.
right? The economies of scale. Let's talk about, for example, your single families and your
Yeah.
duplexes. Let's talk about a single
Well,
family.
and that's lifestyle as well, right? So it's a very active job. When you basically have a job, when you are doing single family homes, you're doing flips, you're doing the duplex conversions. Woo! Here we are. It's a big job. Once you're done one, you have to find the next one, right? You have to find the next one, and then the next one. It's very, very active. You don't just do it once and pays you for life. With a flip, especially, you do it once, then you got to find the next one and do it again.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, you're talking more like you're making money because you have a job,
Yeah,
right? So
it's
once
an
you're
active income.
it's an active income as
Yeah.
opposed to the passive income.
Yeah.
And so if you have a single family, I know many people that like to invest in single families and in condos. I know many people that before they get into the education that we're in, that's what they do the most.
Yeah.
They invest in condos and they invest in single family residences. I'm not too sure the reason why they do this,
I
but
have a thought on that.
oh yeah,
If I can share.
yes, please.
I think that it's a limiting belief or a ceiling that people have put on themselves. It's what can I afford with what I have, right? And not thinking outside the box in how can I go bigger? How can I be one that purchases a 24-unit building, for example, versus a single-family home?
Exactly.
An individual can buy a single-family home, no problem, but not everybody can just throw $6 million at a 24-unit deal, right? So you need to think outside the box, find partners. You need to change and break through that ceiling, as Dakota always says. Break through your ceiling because you've put that ceiling on yourself.
I love that. And yeah, and I was taking some notes today while they were talking to us. And there's another reason why. So economies of scales, meaning that you have more apartments or more units in a single building,
Yeah.
right?
Imagine having 20 single-family homes versus a 20-unit building, right? One roof, sure, that roof is more expensive than your one single-family home, but you've got 20 of those. I guarantee you 20 roofs is more expensive than one
Exactly.
multifamily.
You could have the same number of units in a single roof with a single property tax, a
Yep.
single boiler,
Yep.
single driveway.
Yep.
So that's
And 20 customers.
and 20 customers in
Right?
a single
20
building.
tenants in one building versus
one
a
building.
single-family home. You've got one tenant. They leave, you're 100% vacant.
There you go. That's it's so many, and that's just the second point. Then it's easier to manage, right?
It is easier to manage. You've got one geographical location. You got one building, right? Versus 20, maybe your 20 single-family homes are in kind of the same area, maybe, but it's still not just sending one person to one location.
Yeah, and we've learned that in fact there's a formula where if you go 16 units and above, you can have an
On-site super.
on-site super or caretaker,
Yeah.
which helps greatly.
And now as a property manager, you're managing an individual who's managing the building.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then there's another one, easier to finance.
Easier to finance.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I can touch upon a couple of things there. For example, they're considered commercial.
Yes.
Even though it's for residential apartments, anything beyond 7 units and up is considered commercial and not residential.
That's right.
So it follows a totally different criteria for qualifying.
Yep.
It's actually not the individual. Like if we go for a single family or a condo, maybe even a duplex or a triplex, like that's 2 units or 3 units, you still have to qualify yourself as an individual. You need a salary and
They look at your debt to income ratio, right?
debt to income ratio. Whereas in commercial, even though it's residential apartment buildings, it's the building that qualifies for the mortgage.
Yep.
So that's one benefit.
Yep.
And then another benefit is that it doesn't actually follow the Bank of Canada interest rates. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
It-
Follow
it-
the bond market.
The bond market. So it's actually probably even cheaper.
Yeah, it is
Right?
actually. So when we're following the interest rates that are going up right now, they're talking about residential interest rates. They're talking about that overnight rate. The multifamily commercial properties follow the bond market.
Exactly. And let me talk about maybe just one more, I guess, for now.
Okay.
And
Maybe to be continued.
to be continued. Yeah, I love talking about strategy, right? And that's that 5% that we need. It's the education,
Yeah. Yeah.
the education and the action. Action is part of the mindset,
Yeah.
but action and mindset combined. Sorry, action and knowledge combined. It's very powerful.
Absolutely.
Knowledge on its own and action on its own, it's not powerful. I can tell you from experience.
And you can't do any of it without the mindset.
Oh, 100%. So there's less risk. You spoke about the risk. So, of course, if you have a single family and that one family leaves,
Yep.
you're 100% vacant.
You got it.
But if you have 20 units and one family lives, it's practically
It's almost
a non-event.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're spreading the risk with multi-family apartment buildings.
Absolutely.
So that is the reason why we chose multifamily as a strategy. That is one of the reasons why we keep coming to these boot camps that are all about multifamily. I love the fact that every time I come to them, some of it is actual the same information, but I'm always listening to this information from a higher level of awareness.
Yep.
I love it. I can never get enough of it.
Yep. Even if it's the same thing over and over, you're in a different position, you're in a different place, you're in a different mindset. And then so you might just take something else out of it.
Yeah.
Something new, something might just click.
That's amazing. Jeff, thank you so much for doing this with me once again.
Happy to be here.
And I hope we can do this again. To be continued, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all again. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.